but fine. So we agreed to separate, and we did separate, and we are staying separated.
And we do not shout across the street at you. And even if we did, you couldn't hear us. There's so much traffic.
So we are separated by 4 lanes.
Over there in people's faces. And you know who it is. The man who had the club went right up to the people holding the Gaza sign and was harassing them.
And now you know that that's something that we won't tolerate that. And I wasn't here. I'm not saying if it happened or not. I'm just letting you guys know that that's something that.
Excuse me, there is police.
And interestingly, he was not.
Go get her.
If you can't talk to her, yes.
Yeah, get her.
And interestingly, the guy who brought over the sign to the other side of the street was not standing in the median. He was standing on this side of the street.
Well, she didn't say he was standing in the median. She said that he went over there and started.
So that's a second issue.
Well, the issue is
the issue is that we need to stay separated.
The issue is the bottom line: stay separated and be peaceful. Now, if a person from this group walked over to their group and started engaging in an argument, then that's not peaceful. That's what I'm saying. And let both sides know that's not tolerated.
Right.
All right. Now, you lessen the chance.
That's not true.
But hey, hang on.
Ralph was on our side and actually ripped down our posters.
And
so you know that's not true. The guy who's just here is Ralph.
Okay, he's gonna come back. Listen to what I'm saying.
His name is not Ralph.
It's Rob.
Right, and Rob would never do anything that violent.
Actually, we were there, we saw him, and he came over and apologized after.
That's why I'm putting both sides on notice that that's not going to be tolerated. Now, with that said, when you guys are over here and you don't travel over there, that lessens the chance, okay? That lessens the probability of any kind of verbal confrontation. If you guys come and you just immediately set up here and they immediately set up there with no one going back and forth, that diminishes the possibility, the remote possibility of any kind of verbal altercation.
We're all reasonable people.
I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. I don't know everyone in your group, okay? From what she is saying and from what you are saying, we both had some kind of verbal altercations, okay? Ripping down signs or whatever. What I'm saying is, if you guys are on both sides of the street, that can't happen. But when your group walks over to this side of the street to cross the street again, there's gonna... Hang on, ma'am, hang on. There's gonna be a possibility of someone saying or doing something. That's what I don't want. You guys know that.
But you
guys know that.
We walk over, they say, can we see your flyer? We give it to them. I mean, we know each other at this point. We've been doing this for a year. I'm sorry, I thought your name was Ralph. It's Rob?
It doesn't matter what my name is.
Well, no, I've been calling you Ralph. I'm sorry.
It is Ralph, okay?
Oh, you see, his name is Ralph.
Okay. All right.
It's not Ralph? It's Ralph. Come on.
Regardless.
Sergeant, this is
So,
police, yes, she sent me over here. Now, Dan said that he had some kind of arrangement or...
Dan!
Yes!
Come on! Okay, so I complained that you guys were in the meeting, you guys were on the same time. You said, no, we had an agreement like that, and I just, I'm like, no, that's not what I recall of the agreement.
What we discussed.
And that, right, so we had some back and forth, and I was like, okay, at a certain point we just let it go, because we didn't want to get into some big confrontation.
I understand that.
But that was
We
all.
We didn't want a confrontation. You asked us about standing on the median. You asked me if it would be okay if you guys stood on the median.
Yeah, but why?
Well,
I said that's because you guys were doing that in the first place, and
right.
I said, well, does that mean when you were standing there, I could go over and stand?
And I said absolutely yes,
right,
and you said okay.
All came off of the whole original thing of you guys aren't supposed to be there.
We're supposed to be separated. That's the only thing we agreed to.
Okay, with that said, Dan, what I'm trying to prevent, all right, and obviously it's already happened, with your group or anybody's opposing group crossing the street to cross the street again, that's inviting. That's inviting, but that's inviting confrontation, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
So when they come over here and collect our flyers, is that inviting confrontation?
Absolutely it is.
Okay, I think that's, I agree with you. I understand that that's consistent with your current position. I happen to think that all of our groups are a lot more adult than that.
Okay, I have no reason to believe otherwise, except for the fact that both sides just said that there's been confrontations.
There have been confrontations.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to avoid. That's what I don't want. So
They defended you and said you would never rip down our posters.
So what I'm saying is, if everybody stays on opposite sides without having to cross the street and stand next to another side with the possibility of a confrontation ensuing, which apparently has happened, that's what I don't want.
But you know, we are adults, and when Ralph or Ron or Rob or whatever he wants to be called ripped down our posters, he did actually come over and apologize.
Okay, understood. But what happened when you said a guy came over and started harassing somebody that had a sign?
People who had a gas.
You know what I mean? We are adults, but adults make mistakes. Adults sometimes get a little heated, and I understand that.
This is the agreement. I will talk to our people about making sure that dialogue is kept minimal and polite.
We don't want dialogue at all.
But you know what? Whether or not we want dialogue, we always do the, oh, can I see your new flyer?
But that's different.
That's dialogue.
That's asking for a flyer. That's as much as we want to have.
Do you not want us? I mean, I always like to get your flyers. Do you not want me to do that? So
we want you to have our flyers. We have no problem with that.
We work hard on ours. We're very proud of them.
Because you know we have to stand silent. That's our whole step. We have to stand silent, so we can't really engage. So that's just part of the whole thing.
Unless there is a legally compelling reason in terms of safety for us not to be in the median, I really find no reason why we shouldn't stay in the median.
That's what I'm wondering. Is there a legal?
You know what? Offhand, I don't know of any ordinance that prevents people from standing in the median.
But the question
The Oakland
is, what
Municipal Code is online, so I can look it up.
Yes.
Well, my question, I just want to understand what the agreement is again.
But that's
The
just
original
me.
thing was we stay on separate corners.
No, my understanding is we would stay separated, and we are staying
The
separated.
original agreement was one side on this corner, the other side on this corner. That was the original agreement because I orchestrated that. All right, there was no agreement about in the median or anything like that. That's why I'm out here, because one side started to deviate a little bit. One side being here, the other side being there was working fine. I hadn't been called out here on anything.
This is still working fine. We will stay separate. I will make sure our
We're
people...
not happy with that. That's your idea of fine. My idea of fine is corner by corner. That was the original agreement. The median is not the median.
I've seen you on the median many times.
Yes, but only when we're on that corner, when we're still on that side of this street.
If you guys are over there, your medium is fair game.
That's what I.
You know what I mean?
That's what I would.
But over here, well, there's no medium. But you know what I mean? But
Right, and when we're over here, we don't go.
yeah, when they're over here, they don't go over there and flank you guys.
Right,
So what I'm saying is,